What up, folks? I'm guessing I might be on. Let's see. Doing some exciting, not talking, sorry, checking messages real quick. Pop that out. Go to live. Test. There we go. It is working. Chances of anyone hopping in here probably pretty slim to none, chat. I get that. I understand that. But I'm kind of wired. Had a good conversation over Due Diligence's channel. Almost home. You guys aren't home yet? Holy, well, yeah, you guys are 3 hours behind. You're almost 10 o'clock. Okay, that's not so bad. I was like, my goodness. Well, we'll keep you company while you're driving home, Dove. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed your time with the goats. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and there we go. So we got this. Let's get some music going. I'm in the mood for some music. All right, so we're gonna do an alchemy brew tonight. This is basically my Is It Dragons. Looks like I don't really have any 5-drops. What do we got for a 5-drop curve? Well, technically, this is a 2-drop. Technically, this is a 4-drop. Technically, this is a 3-drop. And so that's my only 6-drop. But let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's see how this works. All right, let's climb the ladder. We are in Platinum 3. Platinum Tier 3. Wow, guys. I just checked some of the analytics on my Zoomgate 2025 observe and report. What will be the verdict? I just 669 views 10 hours ago, 101 likes, chat. Thank you so much for hitting that like button over on my main channel, Generally Specific. I really do appreciate that. It's pretty good analytics. Had a really good time up. Yeah, he does look a little rough. I think Rats is still watching it. I think Rats to the Moon is still watching the replay right now. Yeah, that was a good show today. Yeah, I think she's like commenting. Rats has had like, I don't know, so many comments tonight. It's hilarious. She's just like, I had one guy said, sucking dick for Skittles underneath the bridge, underneath your troll bridge. He said, you had me laughing so hard I about passed out. Good times, man. Good times. Mazel, mazel. You know what I'm saying? We were so busy today. Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a good show, man. It's gonna stay public, so you'll be able to check it out. You'll be able to see it. 101 likes. That's pretty crazy, chat. Yeah, Rats cracks me up, dude. He's hilarious. Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, let's see if I can get rid of that. Yes, all right, we succeeded. We did the thing. We won magic. All right, let me get on Subpar Gaming. Make sure I got my volume down. I gotta make sure I get on and hit that like button, you know? I don't want to be that guy. All right, here we go. This is gonna get brutal. Brutal. It's brutal, chat. Yeah. Let's climb the ladder. Let's try to get into diamond. What are we in? Platinum? Yeah, platinum tier 3. Let's at least get to platinum tier 1 before the end of the day. How about that? Can we try to do that? All right, let's see if he's got what it takes to counterspell this. We hauled a total of 1,000 gallons of water for other people today. Well, there will be a reward for that. There will be a reward for that. That's a blessing. I will submit 0. Blessing people with water is a great feeling. Yep, I agree. Congratulations to you guys. That's really awesome. That's really, really awesome. Speaking of blessing people, Savage Saints and Rabbit, they're doing a lot of good work, guys. They're doing a lot of good work. And I'm glad that he's got people around him and he's staying busy. You know what I mean? I really am glad. All right, let's see. Let's do this. Let's see what happens. All right, well, there's 15 damage right there. Boom, boom, boom. That's pretty good. It's not too shabby, chat. Not too shabby. Yeah, Hawk is good people. Yep, I agree. He's an arborist, that's for sure. He's got some skills. He knows his trees. He knows his trees, chat. Oh wait, I didn't hit that like button. Dang it. Yeah, we had a really good discussion on Due Diligence's channel. I think it's called The Chronicle. I think I'm pretty sure I subbed to it, but the link is in my latest video. He allowed us to restream it to our channel. So he didn't read off any of the super chats, but that's okay. Most importantly, he's a man of God. Amen. Amen. I'm glad that Rabbit's got people that are godly around him. I really am glad. If they weren't around, the devil would have isolated Rabbit. I promise you he would have. I guess my opponent's, he's roping me out. He's not too happy, I guess. I don't know. Yep. I went in long enough to hit the like button. Appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Actually David Wayne was up there. We know, you also know him as Judfly. And he was up there. Are they going to get... Uh-oh. This could be bad, chat. This could be bad, chat. What happens here, though? When this creature enters, you may search your library and or graveyard. Savage, reveal it. Put the card in your hand. What did he cast this? Okay. How about if I do this? I want to see if he'll cry. Okay. I'm I-7-7. Now you got a bunch of cards in your hand there, buddy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Lieutenant Dan. Ice cream. Alright, Dove. Well, again, be careful, guys. What's up, Tree Mix? Yeah, I'm back. I'm like herpes, the gift that keeps on giving, you know what I'm saying? I'm all wired up, man. That was a good conversation. I listen, I don't agree with some of the stuff Due Diligence says. Well, no, I don't disagree with what he says. I think he doesn't say, when he says something, I'm a very literal person. So when you say X, I engage X. But if you say X but you mean Y, and then I engage X and you're trying to figure out why I'm not engaging Y, well, it's because, or whatever, because I don't know what Y is because you said X. But overall, I kind of agree with how Due Diligence's worldview. I don't disagree with it at all. I think it's important. Wait, that thing blocks, doesn't it? Go here. Here. Card. Here. Let's go here. Let's go ahead and swing. He's going to block with his 4/4. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Due Diligence, I've always had really interesting conversations with him. He sent me an email today to invite me onto the show. And I was a little worried that I was being painted as some kind of a person that likes his nation and happens to be the color I am. I don't even want to say the words together, guys. Because it's just such a hot topic, and the algorithm's going to pick it up, right? So, but it's like, I couldn't be further from that. You know, I mean, I just want decent people around me. I want God-fearing people. You know, we should all be children of God. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't care what color your skin is. But you know, I kind of like that James guy was just screaming, throwing out the victim card every 5 seconds. I mean, he had some interesting points. James did. That's a good game. Is he gonna do the thing? Is he just gonna rope me? Ooh, that's good. Nice. That's nice. Yeah, he's got me. I mean, I got a block. Boom! He still got me. Gotta say, nice. Good game. I don't mind that. That was a good ass whooping. That was a good butt whooping. All right, still platinum tier 3. Let's get another win in here. But no, I mean, it's like I don't know. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in if you don't mind, Treemix. I appreciate it. But yeah, Treemix has been following me for a long time, back in the Periscope days. When he's seen me go off on some mofos. I miss Periscope. I used to be able to play like 70s music in the background, be singing to it while I'm like doing. You remember 50 Shades of Chores? Treemix? I don't know if you're still in here. Do you remember 50 Shades of Chores, where I used to like deep clean my bathroom while talking politics and stuff, current affairs? have the phone on like a tripod and you go check the messages every now and then. I remember those days. I had some good times, man. Actually, I'll always be grateful to Periscope, because that's where I started on my journey with the Lord, you know? Started asking genuine questions, seeking genuine answers, instead of just repeating, like, you know, atheistic, you know, statements over and over and over again. I actually started to, like, okay, I got a question. And it's interesting because it's like, ask and you shall receive, right? Knock and it shall be opened unto you. And I just think that that's fascinating, because I asked God for an answer, and he systematically put people on my stream, on my Periscope, that would answer those questions for me satisfactorily enough so that I could go to the next stage of my questioning about God and God's existence and stuff. So, you know, it's like, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you, right? These things are, in my opinion, these things are true. I think they're very true. I know they're true. God is not a man that he would lie. That's it. Pretty simple. All right, let's focus on being winners. Let's try to be winners. That card is going to be my bane, too. What's up, Mr. Mimsy? Good morning, all. I'm off to bed, but I'll be listening as I drift off. Awesome. Thanks for keeping us company, and we will keep you company as well. Sir. I think he's got an answer for this. And it is kind of morning here. It's 58 a.m. on the East Coast. And thank you for the support tonight, Mr. Mimsy. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that it didn't get read off to you or for you. That's 2 damage, isn't it? Dang it. Let's go. Can't really do that. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go no attack end turn. I'm gonna wait till the end of his turn, then I'll cast it. That way I can have it and untap it and attack with it. Loopholes, you know. You gotta find those loopholes. Yeah, sorry I couldn't read off your super chats. It's you know, it was due diligence to show. I don't know if he knew to read them off or not, or if he even noticed them. I hope I didn't miss any of them, because it looked like somebody else donated or something. It was like, said I earned like $13 or something. You almost made Brick cry. It was so well spent. I don't want to be mean to Brick. You know? I mean, I don't want to be mean to Brick. He keeps saying all this like peace and love stuff, and I'm like, he says, we can't let them do this. We can't let them divide us. Well, how are you going to stop them if they want to divide you? If you're over here preaching no force, right? Like, how do you stop them? Precisely, how do you stop them? That's what I want to know. I don't know. It's a little confusing. All right. What do we got here? Enchanted creatures you control get +2/+2. I considered an enchanted creature. Oh no, because of that. So the question is, do I bounce? Oh shit, did I not do that? Pardon my French. I didn't do that before the end of the turn. Son of a biscuit, chat. I am screwing up big time. Get rid of that. No attack. I messed up, chat. I should have done that before the end of the turn. My bad. I mean, I'm not trying to make him cry, but he gets so damn insufferable with his Sov citizen stuff, dude. I never really, he never came out and admitted that he's a Sov citizen, but it's like, I mean, the more I see these Sov citizen, Sov idiot freaking videos and stuff, I'm just like, you guys live in you're like Peter Pan in Neverland. You guys aren't living in a reality, dude. You know, you got these rights that you demand everyone respects, yet you don't have, there's no duty for you to do anything for those rights. You asked for a supervisor and complaint form. That's how to stop them. Yes, that's exactly how you stop them. All right, I'm about to get my butt whooped here, chat. I'm about to get spanked, dude. Yeah, I'm getting clowned. Yeah, this is pretty much a good game. All right, I guess we do this. I mean, maybe I can figure this out. I don't think so, though, chat. I gotta discard a card. Yeah. Everyone's loving the video, dude. Everyone's loving it. I mean, everyone's loving that video. Yes, people keep asking me, are you back, GS? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm back. Dude, I can't believe how many times Chris Ryder lied on that one stream. First, he said he served me with a restraining order, that I had a restraining order against me to the judge. Then on his channel, he said it again. Then he said he filled out the paperwork for one. Then he said it 2 more times that he had a restraining order on me. And I'm just like, who is this dude, man? All right, this is ridiculous, chat. The game doesn't want me to win, so I'm just going to let it go. All right, well, we're back into Platinum Tier 4. It'd be nice if I got some land. I even added a land, chat. I even added a land to my deck. This is crazy. Yeah, people are really, they're really loving it, dude. People are really loving it. This guy needs to pay for his crimes. Yeah, he just does nothing but hurt people, man. Oh, looks like I lost a like on there. I went from 101 likes to 100. Oh well, guess somebody didn't like it after all. Uh-oh, he uploaded 5 hours ago. He uploaded another freaking video. Cover up. Chris Ryder, you're so desperate. So pathetic. So special. Isn't that special? What's up, Boot? You're kidding me, dude. Is there a video of that? Is there a video of that? For real, dude? Oh, I gotta see it, man. I got it. Is there a video? I'll play that video, bro. I will so play that video. Oh, no way, dude. Did you copy it at least or something? Oh, that's hilarious. Did he watch my video? And turn... Oh, no, wait. Was he watching my video or is that like... That's hilarious, dude. Dude, if James Freeman was watching my video, that would be like crazy, bro. I wanted to interview him for the longest time. No, I was driving, and yes, been watching your victim interview for the last hour or so. Victim interview? Victim interview? What do you mean? No, I was driving, and yes, been watching your victim interview for the last hour or so. No, if you're driving, dude, don't respond. Wait till you arrive alive. You know what I'm saying? Let's get rid of this. I love this deck. This deck is so much freaking fun to play, chat. So much fun. All right, well, I got some counters, so I'm just gonna let it ride. I think he's gonna have that dragon. He's gonna have. Oh yeah, there it is. I say no. Thoughts aren't real, just GS. Yeah, that guy, dude. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, brick. I gave you so much credit that clearly you didn't deserve. I tried so hard with you, Brick. I really did. But I don't know. There's some Nambla stuff going on over there, bro. There's some weird, creepy Nambla stuff going on. All right, that's not good. Just saying, bro. Remember what I told you? Lol. Just saying, bro. Yeah. Yeah. It seems to be a pattern, doesn't there? All right, let's go this. Hopefully this works. Uh-oh, he's going to counter it, chat. Nope, he didn't. Okay, let's go non-land. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Cool. Let's do this. Let's do this, chat. All right, are we doing it? 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Are you ready for this, chat? This is going to be flipping epic, chat. I think. I hope. Chomp! What's my name? Say my name. I'm the Dragon Master. The Dragon Prodigy. Oh, he's got it. Damn it. What did he do? Oh, that dirty dog. That dirty dog. Oh, how dare he. That's all right. Take 6. They're small. Yeah, what an interesting day, chat. I'm sure some people got some good laughs out of it. Chris Ryder making all his damn threats like usual. Oh, it's just crazy how many threats this guy makes. It's just crazy how many threats this guy makes. I don't get it, man. I've never seen somebody make so many threats ever before. He's at 14. He's a little nervous, I think, chat. He's a little bit nervous. He seems a little... Uh-oh. How dare he? How dare he? Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool at all, chat. Alright, no block. That's hilarious. I just want to leave that up there, that statement up. James Freeman called Chris Ryder a Riri at least 20 times earlier. Oh, I wish somebody would record that. I hope there's going to be clips of that. So did James Freeman watch my video at all? Like where's the context of him calling him a Riri? Like where did that come from? Like what video was he reviewing? Did you see where Wolverine Transparency admitted he was a cop? Asked him about it in Freeman's chat, and like Chris, he ignored me. I didn't know he admitted he was a cop. let's do this. What am I gonna get rid of, chat? What do I get rid of? What is that one holding on to? Okay, that's gonna be that one. Okay, no attack. So Wolverine Transparency is actually, he's a cop? Nah, he can't be a cop. That dude spurgs way too freaking hard to have been a cop. There's no shot that dude's a cop. Stop the cap. Stop the cap! Oh, this guy's he's gonna be so mad right now. He just quit the game. He just threw his mouse against the wall. See? I told you. I told you. He rage quit. I told you. All right, let's speed it up, guys. Let's get some trance on. Oh, we got our rank up. Let's do it. Poor Mr. Mimsy's trying to go to sleep, and I'm ramping him up with some trance music. He's gonna be like sitting on his bed with some some glow sticks, like spinning them all around and stuff, you know. Oh, that's hilarious, though, man. I gotta find out, dude. Is anyone else doing the whole Chris Ryder thing? Anyone else exploring it? Is anyone else talking about it? I'm still trying to find out what the context is for why Freeman was talking about Chris Ryder. Did it have to do with, was he reviewing Chris Ryder's live stream? Calling him a Riri? Oh, it's so funny. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, cat. Damn it. He's probably gonna cast him. Damn it. Oh, whew. Okay. Thank goodness. Get rid of that. This is me pushing Finkel's head down, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we gotta deal with this right now. No soup for you. Come back 1 year. You got problems? I got solutions. I'm a solutions guy. I'm a solutions guy. I deal with solutions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things could get bad. I think things are about to get bad. Let me see. What's up, Tim? Howdy, y'all beautiful people. We finally made it back to Hacienda, and now my boots are off and my feet get to breathe. Yeah, you've been epic, dude, all day. I'm about to get absolutely, like, raffle stomped here, chat. Let's go here. Turn. Yeah, I think I'm about to get educated. About to get nasty. Oh, come on. Oh, actually kind of helps me. Maybe not. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, shit. Damn it, chat. Ah, I hit the button too many times. Son of a biscuit. Oh, I was supposed to block that one. Son of a... Oh, guys, I messed up. I messed up bad. I messed up bad, chat. Messed up real bad. Bad. It's real bad. Dove says, okay, back. Animals are set for the night. Welcome back, Dove. Yeah, apparently my show today went off like gangbusters, man. I would say good game. Yeah, we just got our asses. I made a mistake there. Probably still wouldn't have won though. We hauled 3 loads of cable spool. Oh wow. And then 1,000 gallons of agua for friends. That's really cool. I just like playing this dragon deck. I don't know why. I just really like playing it. I wonder if I should have those dragons in my deck or not. I could be pretty big time. Huh. I like this. You know, I'm just wondering if I should have the blue-red dragon in my deck here. The one that, like, counterspells. Alright, might have a blue-white control here. Glad you guys are home safe. Get to kick up your heels. Uh-oh, I think we got a you-know-what deck. Yeah, this could get bad. Yep, it just got bad. It's alright. It's alright. It's all okay, chat. Everything's good. Everything's good. Ooh. Everything's okay, chat. Okay. I think. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, you guys were on it like right from the get-go. Right from the beginning. Okay, another one, chat. Another one. Not good, chat. Uh-oh. It's about to get out of hand, chat. Bad things are about to happen. Strange things are happening. I'll say no block. My turn, right? Let's do this. Say non-land. Non-land. Okay, there we go. Drop the land. Yikes. If I put that down, I don't have enough mana. If I cast this, I can impend it. Whenever this permanent enters or attacks, seek a non-land card. Okay, not yet. I don't think yet. Right, we're gonna swing. End turn. We're gonna pass. Ain't no rest for us wicked. Don't call you. You're not wicked. No rest for the weary. You're not wicked. My favorite thing was helping take care of goats. Surprising. You definitely have an affinity. All right. We're gonna do this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, there's some stick, chat. I think we're gonna go... what is that? That equals pass, right? Yeah, we'll just send them both back. It's fine. Our Goats are super cute. Uh-oh. Go ahead and auto pet. Okay. And I have to discard a card. So do that. Ooh, I might not have should have gotten rid of that. Who knows? I will rest when I push up desert flowers. I thought you had a surgery coming up, didn't you? What was the date on that? I thought that was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I must have the date wrong. Oh, I think it was in June, wasn't it? Like mid-June? Okay. That's not good. That's no bueno, chat. That's no bueno. Okay. Surgery has to be scheduled. Oh, I could have swore you guys said you had it scheduled or something. My bad. My bad. All right, that's a little too intense. That's a little too intense. There we go. Let's chill it out a little bit here. Let's calm it down, chat. Right? I mean, am I right? Still waiting to get set, but I am pushing it back until after I get stuff done. Gotcha. Yeah, I think once things get all settled up, yeah, I think that'll probably be the best thing to do. I can imagine you're in some pain though. Well, there's nothing whiskey can't fix, right? Wow, I got tired super fast right there. Just that laugh. Oh, what a good day today. It's so funny to me how people thought like I was down and out and stuff, like I was all bummed out. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah. It's just people are just really rooting for me to like fail. Quad. Yeah, exactly. People are rooting for me to fail so bad, bro. It's crazy. Like they just want me to fail in the worst freaking way, dude. I ain't never seen nothing like it. By the way, I get my ass kicked. Just so you know. I happen to be currently getting my ass kicked right now. Yeah, people are weird. Like even with Ryder, I'm not rooting for him to like fail. I'm not rooting for him to fall on his face or anything like that. I'm rooting for him to have justice, whatever that looks like. I actually kind of want to see what this does. Oh, it's too bad that the... Can I flip that? Oh, I don't think I can flip it, chat. Can I flip it? Oh, I don't think... How do I flip it? Oh, I need 6 mana. Oh, that would have been so epic, though. It's a good game. I just wanted to play that card. I just want to see what it would do. They want us all to be upset because we don't have wrenches, which is... I told you guys this was going to benefit you. I told you it was going to take so much strain and stress off of you. It takes a lot of strain and stress off of me because I don't feel like I have to protect you guys. I feel like you guys can make a decision whether you want to listen to someone or not. You can block them, and you'll never hear from them again. I think it's done. It's doing everyone a favor. My algorithm is going through the roof. They're so upset they can't figure out why I'm not reacting in a negative way to their little nonsense barbs. It's just hilarious, chat. I mean, it's a comedy, and I told you guys it was going to be for the best because now people don't feel obligated to have to be in my channel because they have a wrench. That's the worst feeling in the world, man. That's why I don't really want wrenches. When people give me wrenches in their channel, I'm like, I'm the worst person to give a wrench, because if I'm showing up in your channel, yeah, I'm gonna promote you. I'm gonna promote your channel and stuff like that in general. But I'm here to watch your content. I'm really not paying attention to like what everyone else is saying in the chat. I'm trying to listen to who's speaking. I mean, I'm like the worst mod ever, dude. I mean, I'm a good hype man. Don't get me wrong. I'm really good at promoting people, but I don't want wrenches. I never care about a wrench. Some people are obsessed about it. It's hilarious. Yeah, I agree, Dove. I mean, you're a fantastic mod. You guys were all great mods. It's just there's some people you couldn't block, and every now and then I do a Jubilee, and you guys are kind of like, well, now I gotta hear that person again. So it's not fair to you. If you want to block somebody permanently, guess what? You get to block somebody permanently. It's a beautiful thing. Nothing wrong with it. It's about having more control over your own account. That's not good. Oh, goodness gracious. Are you serious? What the French? Yeah, that card is really good. You can have a lot of fun with that card. Enchantment creatures you control have menace. He's got it right back. Oh, it's funny. Oh, that's so funny. What do we got here? Oh, that's like a token too, isn't it? It's just weird that people want it to be because of drama. Yeah, it wasn't. It never was. I mean, I will admit it is frustrating when people like want me to silence people and then nobody talks after that. I mean, algorithmically, it's a killer. It kills my channel. It absolutely kills my channel. It doesn't give me any traction on the front page. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? What do we got here? I like this guy. It's kind of cool. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Say good game. Yeah, it's game. I felt like I was behind the 8 ball the whole time.
I am the master here.
Yep, that's all you can do is laugh at him, dude. Watch him spurg and squirm. Oh, you guys missed it, man. Brick was losing his shit. I heard Let's in the background yelling at what I think was his wife or something. I don't even know, dude. Let's was losing his shit in the background. They were like, yeah, how did it feel? Hey, you like talking smack to those gate guards. You like treating, U.S. military like crap. How'd that frickin' feel, Brick? How'd it feel to get spun the F up? Kind of sucks, don't it? The fact that he defends crapping on another human being who really hadn't done him any wrong. Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, it's hilarious, man. Yeah, it's hilarious. You know what? I can play it. Hold on, I'll play it over here. Hold on. Let me switch over to. You guys haven't seen it yet, huh? Oh, it's funny. It's about. I was on Due Diligence's show. Let me keep this. Let me go here. Go view my channel. Let's go to go to lives. There we go. Wow, it was like 4 hours. Holy crap. All right. Here, I'll let you guys check it out here. Let me do this. All right. Bottom left. There we go.
Have an honest conversation in good faith. And if you are able to do that, please hit the link, come in, say your piece, and go about your business. You know what I'm talking about? Because I believe this is the best way that we can progress the world, is to talk about the hard issues, right? To talk about the really, really hard issues, and this is one of those issues, I believe, right? And I feel like we can get far pushing a note with this, and this is what we do on the principles, push the issue. You know what I'm talking about? Try to raise the general IQ of the world. You know what I'm saying? Regardless.
Well, that's kind of interesting because he's the one that first brought up the IQ, right? If you engage and you're the one bringing up IQ, and then I give you data that kind of isn't super flattering for a certain demographic, I don't see how you can be angry about that. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud.
So what your position is? We're not here to,
Now, he wasn't angry. The other guy, James, he got all pissy. I think they were trying to look for a white person to, call a racist and be done with it.
Down anybody for what they may believe. We here to just have an honest discussion and push the bar. With that being said, let's get into it. I want to read my little intro right quick, and it says, "Is white nationalism valid?" Right? The reason I want to have this conversation is because I believe it can really potentially be constructive and progressive. I believe if both sides take a moment to put themselves in each other's shoes, something great could happen. Furthermore, if we never have the good faith discussion, one thing we do know for sure is that things will remain the same, right? And I think we all agree that change is needed one way or the other. For myself, I have never really thought about white nationalism from the white perspective, only from the side of what it means for me and my people in a negative sense. But what about what it means for white people if they don't take an aggressive nationalistic perspective? So here we are. There's no better time than now to have the discussion. Welcome to the principles. Let's do this. So I have a guest today, and he goes by the name of Generally Specific. Welcome, sir. Welcome. How are you today? I think I might have you muted. There you go.
I'm doing better than I deserve. How about yourself?
Same here. I woke up and I was breathing this morning, so I didn't have too many complaints. I got some small ones, but I won't put them on you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother, man. Come on, you can put it on me. What's up? Lay it on me, man. What's your complaints?
Yes. Oh man, it ain't even worth complaining about. Like I told you, I woke up breathing, so the little small complaints I got, it ain't even worth expressing. You feel me? It's nothing. I'm here today, and we finna have a great day, and we finna have a great discussion, man. I feel it. I feel like it's gonna be a great one. So let's jump right in it. Let's see what we got here. Let's come right up in here. Bam, bam. Let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see it. Is white nationalism valid? As the query.
That is the topic, right?
Okay.
So let's go to the slide, right? So
well, what do you mean by valid?
This we finna get to it, right? We finna get to it.
I mean, let's see. That's what I was trying to pause them. I'm like, okay, so the definition of valid is, it's codified, ratified, legally in existence, has been basically approved of in law or by a system, right? So I mean, it's a very misty, ethereal, unsubstantiatable concept, right? Valid. isn't really specific. It's just kind of like, okay, is it valid? If it exists, does it make it valid, right? Valid meaning just or purposeful or having like a destiny to exist. I don't know. It's an interesting question.
What, first of all, I want us to be clear on what actually
And that's what I was trying to ask him. What does valid mean? Let's all right. So let's define these words before we try to engage the premise. And respectfully, I don't know that due diligence really understands that aspect of, like, I can't go forward with you if my definition of valid is different than your definition of valid. How am I going to even engage the premise? Does that make sense, chat?
white nationalism is, right? Because, some people have different perspectives on what it might be. So let's just make sure that we're all on the same accord first, right? So it doesn't hurt to just go through the definitions. Let's do it. What is white nationalism? The belief that white people should maintain a white identity and have a national or political system primarily for the benefit of white people, often includes opposition to immigration, multiculturalism, and diversity initiatives. That is generally what white nationalism means. Do you agree with that, generally specific?
It's like white nationalists believe that white people are inherently superior, or people from all other racial and ethnic groups. To all people of other race, they seek to preserve their white European and Christian culture identities, and may advocate for white ethno states. That's kind of the definition I've got. It's not too dissimilar. I think yours is a little bit kinder of a of a definition, maybe. But it's interesting how different dictionaries will have different political ideologies attached to them. Your thoughts on that, perhaps?
I would equate that more with white supremacy. And there's not too much different. We can get there, but that
Yeah.
sounds like more of a
Hmm.
supremacy definition rather than white nationalism. And I think that the differentiation
Hmm.
is small, but we can get there. But I want you to read that definition again. Read that
I,
definition again.
well, I like yours better, actually. I think I agree a little bit more with yours. I think it's still a little bit, but it says white nationalists believe that white people are inherently superior. That sounds like racism to me. To people. Yeah, I think he might have been confused because it wasn't my definition. I didn't formulate this definition. That was just the first thing that popped up. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, where's your head at? Like we're about to have a discussion or a debate on these particular terms or phrases. We have to know what they mean first, right? Like, what do they mean? And that's my question. That's kind of always my question. Like, what does this mean before I can sit here and have a conversation about it with you? From all other racial and ethnic groups. That's the first aspect of it. Then they seek to preserve. Now, I agree with this second part. I think it's important that we should all preserve our own cultures, wherever we come from. They seek to preserve their white European and Christian cultural identities, and may advocate for a white ethno state. Now, there have been examples throughout the world in that, and I'd love to have an opportunity to point out some examples where it worked, where it fell apart. But go ahead.
No, we're gonna definitely get into it. I'll say for the purposes of just having the show, let's go with the definition that's on the screen because if we get into white
I like
supremacy,
it. I like it.
at the beginning it's going to be too contentious. So let's just keep it general, but we can move into that and split hairs later on. But in a general sense, we're going with white nationalism is the belief that white people should maintain a white identity and have a national or political system primarily for the benefit of white people. Often includes opposition to immigration, multiculturalism, and diversity initiatives. Now, I
Well,
think that
that second part seems a little xenophobic to me, and I think that it's not rational. I think we can demonstrate all throughout the West how ethnicities of other than European are being force fed, like you're force feeding a goose or a duck to harvest its liver. I think that the fact that white people, so to speak, or Europeans, have the most unbiased and That's a great question, Dove. I mean, white's everything from Slavs to, oh, I guess Mediterranean people are considered white now. I mean, it's interesting. Um, hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. What exactly is that? Right? Yeah, that's a great question.
The widest open exception to their own in-group preferences demonstrates that that statement, while it might be beneficial for white nationalists to try to achieve that, it doesn't seem to be happening in actuality. I think probably the closest example of that was probably pre-apartheid, during the apartheid in South Africa, where, and we can get into that later. But your thoughts on that, if you had any pushback on that?
I think xenophobia is like the fear of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is necessarily fear. I would say when you come from a nationalistic, I mean, you could spin it that way, but I think from a national aspect, you're just being aggressive, and kind of from the fear of being absorbed. You know what I mean? So I can kind of agree with you in a sense. I can kind of agree with you. I wouldn't call it xenophobia because xenophobia strictly stems from fear of the other, but white nationalism is just, you know, I would say it's the intention is positive and not negative. Fear seems is more like the negative side. Positive is just you trying to be progressive and your intentions is good. I don't know if there's really a big difference, but that's how I see it. I want to welcome in another great guest, chairman of the board. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Man, dude, thanks for having me up. And I didn't know you
Yeah, it actually contradicts itself right there. White identity is the objective or subjective state of perceiving what the how can it be? Wow, that's
were
interesting.
having
How you doing?
man, dude, thanks for having me up. And I didn't know you were having the Rockstar GS on here too, man. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
Oh,
man.
I appreciate that. Thank you,
I've
sir.
I've seen you get ridiculed by so many different people, man. It ain't even funny.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, but his opinion is his opinion.
It's funny, man. You know, it's like everyone knows my name because I get dragged everywhere, right? But guess what? I'm still here, and they're still spurging. That's the funny part.
Nonetheless, do you have any comments on anything thus
Exactly, Dove.
far,
It's
Chairman of the
nonsense.
board?
That's 100% nonsense. It's like word salad nonsense. That definition, Dove. I feel you about being more confused.
Yeah, I have a totally different definition for this than y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that white nationalism is exactly like black nationalism. It's pride in immutable characteristics that causes self-deception. There's like several different things y'all are discussing here that are unrelated to both nationality and the color of your skin, and that's immigration doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it except for the changing culture. And multiculturalism, culture doesn't have anything to do with skin color or really nationality. Um, it's something completely different. Um, they're I guess if you're overly concerned with the traits that you were born with or the location that you were born in, things that you had no control over, then you're really occupying your mind with something that's wasteful.
So be
I hear what he's saying, but it's a little platitude-ish. You know, it's like a platitude or an axiom.
concise with your definition again, just to be clear.
Um, if you can't control it, why have pride?
Your definition of white nationalism,
My
not nationalism.
definition my definition of nationalism is nationalism and white nationalism. They're two different things that when you put them together, like it doesn't matter, right? Nationalism by itself is also prideful.
Mm-hmm.
And concern about what race you are is also prideful because they're things that you can't control.
So, and GS is nationalism negative.
I don't think so. It's kind of interesting because when I was kind of pondering in your premise here, I had a couple of questions. That's why I wanted to I wanted to define what valid is, what you consider to be the term definition valid. But I am a nationalist. I love my nation. I love America. I'm willing to fight and die for it. I put on a uniform for it, and I would do so again if the need arose. I think any man that would not defend his territory, whether it's his town, whether it's his home, whether it's his city, whether it's his state, whether it's his country, it's probably not worthy of the moniker man. That said, I happen to be a white person who loves his nation, and there's nothing stopping a black person from loving the same nation, and we have that common tie that would bind, but not to the exclusion of other people. Does that make sense?
It does, but you don't have a nation.
That's an interesting premise. Go ahead and.
Well, well, show me the title of the nation you own.
The title.
Yeah, like, are you a king? Like you said, you have a nation, right? Which nation is yours?
Oh, I belong to a nation.
So you're a part of a collective of people that collective, like is it like a commune? What is it? You don't really have ownership. You just think you do, or what is it?
I mean, this starting to sound like soft citizen kind of talk now.
No. I'm just trying to follow your logic. You claim to have a nation. I'm asking you which nation it is you own.
The United States. I don't own a nation.
So you don't have a nation then?
Well, I would say he belongs to a nation, but before we get into that, I want Anson. Should I call you Anson or
yeah, Anson's fine. Yeah, I went by.
I mean, to be clear, I was a little blindsided by that statement. I think he's definitionally he's actually correct, and I do a little bit of research, and he educates me on it, and I do appreciate that. He's not wrong in a sense, but he's using a particular iteration of that word, of that saying, or so it would seem to me. Let's do this. See what happens here. And I'm gonna put this down. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't. He's kind of not wrong, but I think he understands what I mean by nation. The country which I serve, the country in which I live.
I had that on the internet for a really long time. So yeah.
Okay, Anson, I want you to say before we get into that, what is nationalism negative?
It depends on whether or not it's excessive. It's depending on the story. Like if you're centering your entire worldview around nationalism and your race, then yeah, it could be excessive. Yeah.
Okay. I want y'all to keep those topics on your mind. Do not let that go. Keep it on the top of your mind frame. But let's go through some of these first because it's going to lead us right into it. We're going to have an open discussion at the end. But for now, I just want to get into these topics about nationalism in general. So the premise, right? Since it is a fact that the white birth rate is declining, should they not take an aggressive nationalistic stance? GS.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that I still would like to get to the definition of valid because I mean that's kind of the crux of white nationalism valid? But
will you hold on to that? Will you keep that and we should come back to it?
But according to the stats, as far as by ethnic group of mother, blacks are 52 births per 1,000 black potential mothers, whereas whites are 51. So I don't really see a big disparity between the black birth rate, the white birth rate. Matter of fact, it seems like Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders are crushing with 79 births per 1,000. That would be the capita of 1,000 as opposed to the normal 100,000 per capita, the metric that is being measured. So I don't really see a distinction between the birth rates of blacks and whites. And is the entailment because we are a white majority country and are losing a foothold on that majority? Is that why we're digging down and drilling down on that?
I mean, that's what that implies.
I mean, for me, I'm trying to ascertain what is the point of this whole discussion? Is it just an opportunity to point and go, that's a white guy who hates everyone else? I mean, you know what I mean? Like what? I didn't understand. What was the premise? Like I like I like the provoking aspect of his questions. I think that he needed to polish his questions quite a bit more. I think I understood what he meant, so therefore I was trying to engage by what I thought he understood that he meant. But like the other guy, like Anson, he's like, "What are you talking about? You don't have a nation. You're not sovereign. You're not a king. You know, it's not your nation. You might be part of a collective, right? But it's not your nation." I mean, he's not really wrong. I mean, I don't mind being told that I'm in error with my thought process. Matter of fact, I think I thanked him for kind of educate me a little bit. I always try to learn something new every day.
But if you don't see it as an issue, then you don't see it as an issue. If you don't, because some people
Yeah,
see
I don't know.
that the declining birth rate of white births as an issue, but if you don't see it as such, then it's not an issue, correct? With you?
Well, I don't really see it as an issue. I think it's nature's equilibrium. Nature will always equalize eventually, and I understand your point. By the way, thank you for correcting me, Chairman. As far as what a nation is, it's a group of people that might share like a commonality of a language or customs or culture. I appreciate you correcting me, and it's not about sovereignty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thank you for
So,
that correction, by the way.
so Chairman,
Yeah. You want my
since
take on this?
I can imagine how Finkel's going to spin that. I got so mad that I might have been incorrect about something. I guarantee you, Finkel will, like spin that some weird, crazy, insane way. It's hilarious.
please,
Yeah. So I don't understand
Perhaps,
what
yeah.
white birth rates declining have to do with nationalism. I thought that
No, that's not really his. Well, I guess it is. I don't know. See, that's the weird thing. It's like that's kind of why I was trying to like drill down on. Well, what do you mean by valid? And we do talk about it in the end. And so I think basically his argument is exactly what you're saying, Dove. Should should people that have a particular ethnicity be concerned about the fact that they seem to be either dying out or being replaced? Should they? Not is it good to, or do they have a right to be more aggressively concerned with? Hey, we need to protect our people, our heritage, our future, our culture, our way of life. And I think that was kind of what he's drilling down on. I think you're right, Dove. I think you're right.
births were caused by like sex, and like the actual rates are more impacted by like the three things that most impact birth rates are poverty, whether or not women are educated, and access to contraception, right? And none of those things have anything to do with nationalism. So I think that
I don't. I think birth rates go sky high when it's somebody that's poor. I think he makes that argument. I don't want people to think that. I think he's saying if you have access to birth control, i.e., your First Nation, first world, civilization, then chances are you're not ever going to get pregnant in the first place. Whereas in a lot of places, they don't have access to these birth controls. Damn it! I should have I gotta pay attention.
they're unrelated factors unless you take into like account that white historic white culture valued things like 100 years ago, like the cultural norms that would have promoted more births, right? If you talk about cultural differences and apply prior culture to today and extrapolate out that that's white culture, maybe you could make an argument, but I would just say it's a culture thing in general.
well, let me give you the argument because why I wrote this question, because one of the arguments is because uh, white birth rates are declining, some white people
That's a good point,
feel
Dove. Good point.
obligated to take an aggressive white nationalist perspective because they don't want to be, moved out of power, right? So you take an aggressive white nationalistic perspective because the birth rates are declining, and you have pride in your nation, and you want your nation to continue to be what it was founded to be, or what you believe it to be. You know what I'm saying? That is the argument. What do you say to that?
um well, I mean, um I I don't know what people say. I've never met anyone that said that before. That like,
Well, what do you think about that perspective? You never
well,
heard it before.
yeah,
I want
that's
to know what you think
well.
about it.
I was raised to be a bigot, and none of the people that raised me even said anything that stupid. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of white racists you've been hanging out with, but none of them said anything like that.
So you don't. I'm not asking you
I'm saying
that,
it's a silly notion, is what I'm saying.
and I'm saying why.
Because it doesn't logically follow anything. Like
You have to give a reason. Why? Because
I am.
if the,
I'm saying it's making correlations without causation, and there's no logical consistency to the statement whatsoever. So anyone who says it is saying something that is basically just out of fear and feelings and unrelated to real. Like, you know how people are. They say things that are stupid just because they're afraid, right? That's all. That's all that is.
so you don't believe that the causation, whatever the reasons, right? The birth rate is declining, right? But GS made another interesting claim, like per capita is not a big deal, but it is still declining nonetheless. You don't give white people validity to have an aggressive stance because since the birth rate is declining, they can potentially be absorbed and lose the white nation. I'm going to let you come in after GS. You don't think that that's valid?
No, well, I don't think it's valid because the things to fix the declining birth rate is to prevent women from getting an education, take away their contraception, and make them poor. And that's why the African countries in Africa don't have a birth rate problem is because they have those factors, right? They're poor, they don't educate their women, and they don't really have access to as much contraception as we do, right? So I mean, if we institute those same programs, then we'll have the same birth rate as Africa.
GS.
Well, I mean, I do want to correct something. Although, I mean, if we look at per capita of the 52 ethnically black women are giving birth per 1,000 versus 51, and I don't know how that equates to. Well, if blacks are 13% of the population and whites are what 56, 57%, I don't know if that exponentially is a problem for the white race if the white race is afraid of getting bred out of dominance or demographically superior numbers.
Yeah,
I gotta be careful what I say because I know there are people out there salivating hoping I'll say some
Already
racist
clipped it.
crap.
Already clipped it.
Yeah.
Nah, GS, just be honest. Don't be careful on what you say.
Well,
Say how you feel, but because
that's all.
it's okay though, bro. Like you feel how you feel, and if you feel a particular way, you should be able to stand on it. So if somebody takes something and clip you, and as long as they keep it in context and that's how you feel, it should be okay. Like if you don't like whoever, who the fuck gives a fuck? If that's how you really feel, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that that's your position, but here's the point that I will say to what you said, right? Um, let me add to the argument. European people / white people are the majority of the planet.
That's a good question,
are
Tim.
The
That's a good
of
question.
The planet, right?
8%. Yep, 8%.
Well,
exactly. So
yeah, yes and no. I mean, they definitely have run into problems doing that. Let's see. Let's do that, and I can't do that. I can do this. Cancel. I'm just gonna cancel it. There we go.
if you look at it in that context, right, replacement theory, that white people will eventually be absorbed by brown people. Does that concern you, either of you guys? Not in America, but in a worldwide sense.
Well, I mean, if we're talking demographics, 10% can become 100%, if you know what I mean.
I mean, 10% can become 100%, but by what means?
Violence.
The thing that we always get accused of: colonizing, warmongering, conquering. Right. I mean, you could say a lot about white people. We're really nice until we're not, and then when we're not nice, we really do conquer a lot of things.
Well, I think that's a valid, I wouldn't say accusation, but that's historically correct. But my question was, is that an issue for GS? Do you believe that that's an issue?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just a number. A demographic is a demographic. I believe that there's.
No, we're not talking about demographics. We're talking about the potential white people to be absorbed by.
Dude, that's exactly the definition of demographics due diligence. Come on, brother. Come on, man. Come on. I'm just, it. I try not to be a jerk to people that invite me onto their panels, and I hope I was respectful to due diligence because he certainly was nice enough to invite me, and I guess it probably benefited him quite a bit, because I think he had 8 subs when I don't know what he's at now, but I encouraged my chat to sub to him, and I hope they did. Um, but it's like, dude, that definitionally you're talking about birth rates, which translates to demographics, bro. It's not about demographics. I guess I don't understand how he doesn't know that. It's kind of boggling to me.
Brown people and become non-existent. Is that an issue for GS specifically?
I don't think it's an issue if it happens naturally. I think it's an issue if it's being created. And I think there is a potentiality for the NGOs and some of the stuff that's been going on in the West right now. I think there's a potentiality that that's part of the design. And by the way, I don't know if you want to keep that message up the whole time, but people can't see our names or anything like that, or for the comment or the new. There you go. But
thank you.
But yeah, I don't listen. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I'm not clinging to this world. First off, my treasures aren't stored down here.
That's an interesting perspective. So you said if it happens naturally, then let nature take its course. But if somebody is actually directing it, then you see it as a negative.
Well, I mean, how would you feel if you found out that Margaret Sanger, for example, was purposely trying to target minority neighborhoods to abort more black babies than were born?
Yeah, I think that's the case, and I do think that's an atrocity. I agree with you, but I just wanted to know your position, and I believe that that's valid. Chairman.
Yeah. In order for me to be concerned about the breeding decisions of all of the other white people, I would have to assume concern for all these other people's behavior that's really none of my damn business.
So, not necessarily concerned about breeding, but concerned about your heritage not existing in the future. Like,
no, I'm not worried about that. I had children, and I'm training them to carry on the legacy and name of my family that I have hundreds of years of history of that I'm passing on to my children. There are subcultures in the white community that are breeding, and not all of us will disappear. I have no concern about that.
Absolutely, that is great perspective from both of you guys. I now want to bring in Pan-African James to the panel. Would you like to comment?
Peace to the panel. Very interesting topic.
Now he says peace onto the panel, and then proceeds to be a chaos agent.
I mean, and unexpected. I'm unfamiliar with both of the gentlemen on the panel, but I think that this is an interesting topic that's very needed in America as far as like Europeans and
this is like this guy's like every black supremacist, the James Pan American or Pan National James. He's like every typical black supremacist that I ever debated or had arguments or discussions with on Periscope. He just it's like your head's so bald I can read your mind.
African Americans having a conversation about what's going on in this nation. So thank you for allowing me to jump on the panel. Right now I don't really have anything to say about that topic. And as far as
I'm gonna switch accounts. Hold on, chat. These cheesy puffs are good. I'm so glad I got these cheesy puffs. These are my favorite cheesy puffs. Actually, taste-wise, the ones that you and Tim bought me and the ones that my wife bought me, those things are freaking delicious. But man, they gave me the shit so bad. Those are my favorite tasting ones, but man, they destroyed my system. All right. Did I get it? I think we got it. Okay, chat. Here we go. There we go.
Like breeding. I mean, it kind of sounds like that's what y'all are speaking on now. I don't even know these guys' position. Are they European nationalists or no?
Well, no, it's not their position. The position is the topic that's on the screen, right? So there is a fact of the matter that the European race is the minority of the planet. And my question was to the Europeans that's on the panel, you know, my guys, do they have an issue with, you know, potentially, potentially like being absorbed, like identity wise, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if the brown people on the planet, whatever nationality you may, the majority is the melanated people, if things keep going, and what science says, if things keep going at the rate that it is, like in the not too far future, the European identity could potentially be, you know, gone, and not
Absorb.
necessarily gone because, like the chairman said, you can still teach that you have that heritage, but as far as their complexion, that complexion could be a thing of the past in the near future. And I asked him if they had an issue with that, and both
Oh, I don't care, dude. I don't care what color somebody's skin is. It doesn't bother me at all.
Seem to say no, except GS, the guy that's directly up under me. He said he don't have a problem with it, but if somebody is intentionally trying to, like, you know, genocide a people or absorb a people intentionally, then that is an issue. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with both of their positions. I don't think that they really have anything to worry about, just like I don't think that Africans really have anything to worry about. However, I will admit that they do have a natural,
There it goes. There it goes. Here comes the attack on Whitey.
seemingly history of trying to remove people from their indigenous lands for their own financial and purposes or whatever their agenda may be. You know, we have history of this.
So, like anyone on the history of the world, when they need resources, you have resources. They come and take your resources so that they have resources and you don't have resources. And the reason why you don't have resources is because they needed those resources and they were able to take those resources because you weren't able to protect those resources. You mean like that, dude? I mean, it's like, it's a tale as old as time, dude. Like I keep saying, get good at war or shut the fuck up.
Throughout history, you know, we've seen what happened in America. This used to be Native American land. We no longer barely even see them.
Here we go.
Okay. We'll get to that point. We will get to that point. But GS did kind of throw that out there as that being an issue. He said that was one of the things that they do get accused of, and I said
not accused. It's a historical fact.
That is a historical fact. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's not the issue at hand. We will get to that. So keep that at the top of your mind. We will revisit that. So let's go to the next question. Right. So, being that white people founded this nation, why is it bad for them to want to keep others out of power and keep it a primarily white governed nation? Like, why does that have to be a negative thing? Do you guys see that as a negative thing? Like me, for example, right? You know, I'm okay with saying that, you know, if me and people that look like me founded a nation, I probably would want to keep it in my family. Like if I'm honest, you know what I'm saying? And whatever means that I have to take in order to do that, you know, so be it. I don't think people are necessarily in the wrong for doing that. So my question to you guys is that a negative since white people founded this nation and they wanted to be a white nation from inception? Is it bad to want to keep it that way? GS.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting that the gentleman who just entered,
Pan-African James.
Your thing's down in the way, so I can't. Okay, that's okay. Pan-African James. He put forward a premise. The premise was that that white people have conquered other indigenous people and taken their wealth and their stuff.
Yeah, we have.
So the question is, do you understand what the law of conquest is?
If you're talking, well, I'm only going to deal with that question from a nature's perspective. So basically, you're asking me do I understand if somebody that's stronger comes into a territory and takes it over, is that okay?
No. The concept of
I'm not even talking about the moral aspect of it. The moral aspect, in my opinion, has nothing to do with it. Do you recognize that there's a law of conquest that has been accepted in society throughout the international world, right? The international society has understood that I have big things and come smash my big things into your smaller things. Now I have all your smaller things and I still have my bigger things because I just took you over. That's how law of conquest works. You got shit, I want it, I can take it, I take it. Guess what? Now it's mine. Suck eggs. Suck it, Trebek. The same thing can happen to white people. I mean, it does happen to white people. Just look at the Moors tearing through the frickin' most of Europe, almost all the way to Italy, twice, enslaving and raping and pillaging their whole way over there. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? I mean, how naive are we?
international concept of the law of conquest that nations recognize. Hold on, nations recognize that there's this concept of if you take it, it's yours.
That's what I just said. You said if a stronger people comes into a territory and takes it, it's okay. Yeah, that's what I just said. But hold on, let me explain to you. Hold on. You said this is a law.
Oh, hey, hold on.
This law is created by somebody. Who created the law?
Don't spark out. So the international community all got together and said, it's okay when these people conquer everyone else, except for when Whitey does it. Suddenly it's a freaking problem. Well, suddenly we have a problem. When the Zulus were rampaging all over South Africa, and then the Boyers came and started making treaties and brought superior tactics and weaponry and started making treaties with the smaller tribes to fight off the Zulus and did land treaties and land deals and land purchases and then farmed the land, made it arid, made it actually worth putting livestock and food into when it was sitting there the whole time and no one else could figure out how to do it. Suddenly now, present day, they want to take it and they kill the Boyer and take the land back. What are you going to do with it once you get it? It's just going to go. It's just going to go. It's just going to go blank again, dude.
Isn't that the law of conquest? Isn't that the law of conquest, though? Right? The Boers got weak and fat on their farms, and now they're having their stuff taken from them because the whole law.
That's a really interesting. That's a really, and I want to engage this guy on this premise, this Anson guy on this premise. When the whole government does not protect all of the people in the country and allows one segment of the population to brutalize another, how is that any different than fucking Jim Crow? So this same guy who's fucking trying to virtue signal about how, oh, well, I mean, how is that? It's a law of conquest because they're all South Africans. They're all under the same governance. They're all supposed to be equally protected underneath that governance, but they have reverse affirmative action over there. So my argument is very clear, right? It's very clearly that there is a difference between how white South Africans are treated versus how black South Africans are treated. Now, apparently that was supposed to be bad during apartheid, but post-apartheid, that's hunky-dory fine because, well, the black Africans, South Africans, have the power now, so they can do whatever they want to the white South Africans. And that's just the chickens coming home to roost. Suck it, Trebek, right? That's just that's just nature's law happening, right? The stronger take the shit from the weaker. Well, it's a little bit different than when the government is preventing you from defending yourself against these fucking ruffians and they're doing absolutely nothing to protect the people that they're supposed to protect. Ironically, these are the same people who are paying the vast majority of the taxes that allow that government to run in the first damn place, that are being disenfranchised from their own government's processes.
Conquest
is based, an interesting.
The law of conquest is based on power.
So that's an interesting argument. Yeah, the power was that a minority of whites in South Africa were running things, and pre-apartheid, when apartheid was happening, Johannesburg.
Excuse excuse me.
Mhm.
I really want to go down this line, but I have some topics that I want to go.
Right. I mean, this is exactly the topic. I'm pointing to a
Well,
place
this
on the
is
map at a particular point in time and period where there was a white nationalist or supremacy or whatever, which was apartheid in South Africa, where things were amazing. They had the best hospital in the
He
world.
said it was
The infra-
amazing.
the
It was, you
infrastructure
muppet.
was
This is
amazing.
crazy.
See, this is the ignorance, right? This is the ignorance of a person who doesn't listen, who's not listening. Yeah, things were amazing. Now listen to my argument why they were amazing.
The Krugerrand was like the highest valued currency on the planet, and then
well,
post apartheid, everything
I
fell apart. So
I got you. This is
that's
a
my
rebuttal.
argument. That's my argument. History.
I got you. But this is a rebuttal to what James said. It's really not a statement dealing with the question that's on it. But I want to go down that line of inquiry. So if you please write it down, I want to revisit it. But I want to get these out the way. I don't mind going there because you making some good points. That's fine. We're not gonna stray away from these points, Diaz. Believe me, we gonna get it in. But I just want to touch on these points first, if you don't mind, and I would just hope that we can get past these first and then have the open discussion, right? So if you don't mind, will you write that down and bring it back up, please?
All right, it's fine. It's already been stated. So
right.
Can we get to what valid means before we proceed?
Well, the thing
What's your
is,
definition of valid?
because we're talking about white nationalist perspective being valid, which wouldn't be my perspective, right? It would be from the white perspective. So it would have to be from a person that actually holds that position. And then we know valid is subjective to the person. So it really doesn't matter what I think. It's from the person who's holding that position, or like you understand what I'm saying? Like, is it valid to the person who holds that position?
I'm saying definitionally valid of an argument or point having a sound basis in logic or fact, reasonable or cogent. Otherwise, or step 2 would be legally binding due to having been executed in compliance with the law, or legally or officially acceptable. These things aren't happening in the world. Matter of fact, the last place that it was happening was Johannesburg during the apartheid. That's why I pointed it out. So when you're saying, is it valid? It doesn't exist. Well, they're trying to replicate it in Poland right now, and they're getting a lot of international pushback. True?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like apparently Poland's not for Polish people. It's got to be for everyone else.
No,
I'm not saying that that's your statement. I'm saying the world has seemed to look down on that particular aspect of white people, basically Slavics, so to speak, trying to maintain what you're talking about. I think that's the only existing example. That's the only place that it's existing, what the template that you're talking about. And I think it is valid that they should be able to have that.
That is the inquiry. It's not nothing that I'm giving. I'm just asking the question, right? And you just said it. You just said a simple point.
I think it should be valid, but I just explained that there's pushback from the international community saying it's wrong for Polish people to want Poland to be for Polish people. How dare they want to have borders? How dare they want to protect the sanctity of their culture within and the citizens inside? Like, it's like everyone else can exist how they want to exist. They don't, you know what I mean? But it's like when white people want to have their own little space, we're 8% of the population, then suddenly it's a big problem.
Point at the end, after you went through the whole notion, you said at the end that it is valid for people to be able to feel like that.
No, I didn't say it is valid. I said it should be valid for people to feel like that if he was listening, but there's a lot of international pushback and they're trying to force them not to be able to do that process. They're putting all kinds of international pressure on Poland and trying to interfere with what Poland's got going on. And luckily, Poland is fighting back.
And to manifest what they want their nation to be. You know what I'm saying? Since they found it, the Slavs. Right, so you believe that it is valid. So there's your answer to that. But my question to you is, being that white people founded this nation, why is it bad for them to want to keep other peoples out of power and keep it primarily a white governed nation, like you said?
And I say something really similar to that, Tim. I every time and I think I say something pretty relatively soon. It's funny how you picked up on that, Tim. I'm like, every time I try to get you to focus on a target, we go from over here and then we go to here and then you want to bring it back to just America. And I'm like, there's no example of that happening currently in America. So what are we even talking about here? Right? Like what are you talking about, dude? I don't get what he's saying.
The example of Poland, you said that that's valid, but now let's bring it here to America. Is that a
No,
negative
I said
thing?
it should be
Right now.
valid.
Okay, so you want to keep it America only. Okay, fine.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no, no, no,
understand
no.
that was
Just,
we
just
went
this question.
completely off the rails all
No,
over
no,
the
no,
world,
no.
and now we want to bring it back to America. Okay,
Yes, this is the question. You know what I'm saying? We can switch it back and forth. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
no. I'd like to.
We can switch it back and forth, but not right now. Not when you just made this awesome point, and I want to disregard that point, and then I want to change and move the goalpost, just like Ada said, just like Tim just said.
I'd like to know what the question is, and it not move every time I try to like get to zero my target. I get a good shot group going, and all of a sudden you're like, no, we're over here now, and I got to rescope. So okay, we'll focus on America. I'm fine with that.
Can I address the prompt as it's stated?
Please.
So
It's
I
very
didn't
confusing
sign
prompt.
the Constitution, and I didn't found the nation. And in order for me to, I guess, concern myself with the skin color of the people who signed a document 200 something years ago to make decisions about what is appropriate in the culture that I live in today would be insane.
So do you really feel like that? What about if it was you? What if it was you, right? What if you founded a nation and then you wrote in the Constitution, you want this to be passed down to your descendants?
Well, yeah.
Then is it valid?
Yeah. Well, and if I were to found a nation, it would be a monarchy, and like what you're describing, we don't have a monarchy though. We have a tragedy of the commons system where nobody really owns it, so it's going to degenerate no matter what we do. So it's kind of irrelevant. But the like why that's kind of like saying the guy that invented the Saturn V rocket, Werner von Braun. He was one of the mustache men's.
Careful, guys. We got a Mooney. We went to the moon. Yeah, dude, I could show you so much footage of that being absolute bullshit.
Scientists that we got from Operation Paperclip during World War II. It's kind of like saying a German from World War II who did a lot of bad things came to America and built the rocket that went to the moon. So only those kind of people can go to the moon from now on.
Allegedly.
Right? It makes zero sense when you apply that logic in other domains, right? Like that doesn't make any sense to you, right? Because it's the same logic. I'm just using a different hypothetical to test the logic, right? Just because a specific kind of person made something doesn't mean that they have ownership over it 200 something years later.
No, I definitely get it. But whenever I put myself in that position, and I already stated my position, like I would want to hand something down to my descendants, and then you said yes, I would want it to be a monarchy. But since it's not, then you have an issue with it. And I have the same issue. I have the same contradiction in my mind because me being I will say I don't want to say victim, right? But I get the shit end of the stick being that I didn't found the nation, but the people who did found the nation, gets to dictate who they want to rule.
Well, that ain't true. That ain't. Well, so I have ancestors that fought in the Revolutionary War. We don't get to dictate anything today.
Well, I didn't say fought in the war. I said founded the country.
That was part of the founding. That was the main part of the founding. The people who got out there and actually fired the weapons to run out the British. They founded the nation. They didn't sign the document. My ancestors didn't, but they were part of the founding, right? And that doesn't mean that I get any kind of special treatment today because I have people that I was related to that died a couple hundred years ago, right? That's kind of an irrelevant point.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't see it as irrelevant, and you made all valid points, but I think I am conflating, and I think if white people realize,
yeah, but what does valid mean? Can we still haven't drilled down on that, have we?
That there's a difference between the elitist people who own the majority of the country and regular white people and that white people and black people was in the same boat, and I think we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we have today, because white people do feel like you said, this is not your country. You know what I'm saying? It belongs to everybody. But there's some people that feel like that it does belong to them, and they own a lot of the land.
It is my country.
The biggest corporations and that thing. Hold on, GS. I'm gonna go to Pan African James. Pan African James. Do you think it is okay? Do you think it's right? Do you think it's valid for a people that founds a nation, right? That initiates a nation? Is it okay that they want to keep their people in power?
That's the natural thing. So to simply just put it, that'd be the natural thing to do, as far as any, not even just related to just humans, but any species on the planet would want to be in power.
Great question.
In any territory that they're in, especially knowing the history of this country, how it was founded. That's the whole agenda of the country, was to take the land. Yes, it was to take the land from the Native Americans, and claim it as your own. That's what happened. So
I think
that's exactly where we're at today. So
I think you should just keep it right there. That is a natural thing to do. If you found a nation and want to pass it down,
that's naturally what happens. And just look, every civilization that's been on top, they eventually fall. So it's nothing that anybody can.
It's almost like, if you listen to James, it's almost like he's having like this wet dream, getting all bricked up. Speaking of brick, he ends up hopping on the show. Mr. Mimsy ends up donating, like, I don't know, a couple super chats, like, thanks for dealing with brick on a panel or whatever. I was like, I don't even know what Mr. Mimsy was saying, but it was hilarious. But yeah, Brick goes on there. He behaves for a little while, and then he ends up spurging a little bit. I get him all wound up. It's kind of funny. He's gonna become my new little plaything. Yeah, the phrasing on some of this. Yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. I try to be very specific with the definitions, not general with the definitions.
Really, all of this is really just arbitrary, because America's on the way down right now as we speak. So
look at how bricked up he is. Just the thought, America on the way down.
It's just amazing that we just really just.
So if you had any doubt whatsoever in your mind that black people aren't for America by and large, not all of them, obviously, but a great majority of them are just like, they're here to loot, dude. They get all super bricked up at the thought of America falling apart. I find that absolutely heinous and disgusting. It's like a rat chewing through the hull of the ship, going, "Yeah, I'm going to drown these fucking retards on this ship." Oh, they're not going to see this coming. Dude, you're on the same ship, you idiot.
It's nothing that Europeans can do to stop what's going on right now.
There's a lot we could do.
World. So it's just it's.
I mean, does he not understand we're 8% of the population and we're running shit for the most part? We're probably one of the most fierce and competent warrior classes of people on the planet. And you're going to sit there and poke the bear and then go, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Are you sure? Is that your final answer? Are you sure you don't want to phone a friend?
It is what it is. You want to be on top, but it's no matter what's going to happen, it's not going to save.
Do you hear the joy in this guy's voice? That'd be like me celebrating like the Rwanda genocide. That'd be like, oh, you're just going to kill each other. You don't have to lift a finger. You guys are just going to kill each other in the hood, over in Africa. Anywhere there's a group of black people, they're just going to start shooting each other. White people don't have to do a damn thing. We just got to let you go. Just let you go do what you do. And it's a self-correcting problem eventually, right? I mean, if that's what somebody would say, oh, that's going to get clipped out of context.
Eventually, you're going to fall, just like Rome, just like Egypt, just like the Persians, just like the Assyrians. All of this stuff is just the cycle of life, and Europeans are just getting ready to be on the end cycle of what happens here in America.
I think that is an interesting perspective, that this is all just nature. People conquest and people want to stay in power, but eventually all nations fall, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can whine, cry, kick, and scream, but all nations fall. And there hasn't been a time in history to where people keep their progeny their family, their descendants in power. Even though we have times in history to where people, like people breeded with their own relatives in order to stay in power to keep that. You know what I'm saying? And it came to something negative. You know what I mean? But GS, you wanted to say something else before we move forward?
I just wanted to push back a little bit on what Chambers said. So let's just do a little thought experiment real quick. All right. So everyone in here has a little spot of land that their great grandfather cleared and then built some modest structure on, started to work the land, and then their son, your grandfather inherited it. He had a son who was your dad who inherited it, and then you came along. Now, do you think that just some random people from other places in the world can just walk onto your family farm and just tell you how to run your family farm? Or do you think that there's a manifest destiny that would be applicable in that scenario? Or you just, and if you're,
Oh yeah, and Brick types in the chat. Manifest destiny has to do with traveling south of the Mississippi and claiming land. You understood what I said. It's your destiny to have this. It's been manifested from your grandfather, your great grandfather, to your grandfather, to your father, to you, bequeathed. They worked the land. It's their land. They made it arable. They made it farmable. They made it so livestock could graze and you could then harvest that. So why should a bunch of Mexicans walk in and go, "Hey, it's our land now. Fuck off, Whitey"? No, we fucking did it. What are you talking about?
your answer is just let whoever run my farm, then why do you lock your door? Why not just let everyone just rummage through everything that you own? Because you own nothing, apparently. You have no claim on anything. Any response to that, gentlemen?
So you're saying that I don't know of anyone that made any claim that private property rights don't exist, but the scenario that you laid out.
He's basically going to assert, he's going to say no one said property rights don't exist, and he's about to bulwark my argument that you don't own any of this shit when a corrupt government comes in and tells you, oh, well, you owe more taxes. At some point in time, you can't keep up with those taxes. Guess what? They take the land back from you. Did you ever own it?
Out is exactly like what's happened with my family. My great grandfather had a lot of land, and what ended up happening was it went to my grandparents, and then inflation and taxes and inheritance being stolen by the government over enough generations, where my family doesn't own anything anymore.
There it is.
And so the government has seized my property already, that should have been handed down to me. So
my question, my follow-up to that's a really good point. And that's actually where I was going next. You own it until you can't own it. If there are outside exterior forces preventing you from maintaining control of it, right, that aren't looking out for your best interest, but might be looking out for other groups' best interest at your expense.
Yep.
So therefore, it goes back to my original premise.
I said west of the Mississippi.
I think any group that's being quote unquote genocide or being told that they don't have a right to exist, I think it's wrong, and I would stand against it. I would stand with in solidarity any of my brothers, I don't care what color their skin is, to try to help them continue to have the right to try to exist at least.
Well, so I think you and James are making the great point. So the question is, because like he said, nature, right? It could just be the course of nature. You know what I mean? So so is it directed? You know what I'm saying? Is it intentional? I don't think so. But white people being 10% and the rest being brown people, like if nature take its course, then there's not going to be white people. But then doesn't that breed fear? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Now, is it justified fear? Should people let nature take its course? But I want to go to the next one. I think these two things are the crux of the issue, right? So keep that on the forefront of your mind, right? Should nature take its course, or should man, right, be the captain of the ship and be able to direct, the course of nature the way he see fit, All right. Doesn't every ethnic group or culture group have a right to preserve its identity and traditions? With the follow-up, we know that white pride comes with the stigma of racism, white supremacy. do you believe white pride can be separated from racism, white supremacy? So the reason why I put these things is that when white people talk about white pride, it seems like the world gets upset with it. They correlate white pride with racism, white supremacy. Like white people can't be proud without black people or any other type of people being like, hey, we not doing that right there. So how do we deal with white people being proud of their heritage, which comes with conquest, and being sensitive to other people? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
There it is, Dove.
If you look at the world through a racial lens, yeah, I'm sure that would make sense, right?
Okay. Pan African James.
All right, guys, I'm gonna link this this video. I'll let you know what the timestamp is, but my old ass needs to go to bed. I'm sorry, but the council, you know what I'm saying, is getting real old. Right? It's like say what you mean what you say. Like I don't have a problem saying what I mean, and I mean occasionally I might make a mistake, but I constantly was being told that I said something I didn't even say. It was happening constantly with a couple of them, and I'm just like, at a certain point, you're just kind of like, dude, what the French, man? All right, hold on, let me at the 48-minute and 20-second mark, if you want to pick up the conversation chat. About 3 years after she died, never thought I'd be glad she was gone, but that would have destroyed her. Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine like, working your ass off for something, and then the government just comes and raises your taxes or prevents you from being able to live. I mean, all it's required is for the government to come in and just put the screws on your thumbs, and just keep screwing. And they wait to see you get angry and have a reaction, and then they back off a little bit. But they keep pushing you and keep pushing you and keep making it so you're more and more comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then you start accepting the uncomfortability because it's not as uncomfortable as it was a minute ago. It's a little less uncomfortable. Gas prices aren't where they were under Trump's first administration, but they're not as fucked up as they were under Biden, but they're still higher than they were when Trump was in office, right? So we the boiled frog syndrome, we slowly get cooked to death and we start to accept these things. All right, chat, I really do appreciate you. I thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you'll watch the rest of that video. Make sure you leave some comments. And by the way, if you want to leave a comment on a particular timestamp, or you want to respond to something that I am discussing or they're discussing, if you look at it, like for instance, it's at the 48-minute and 20-second mark, right? So if you type in 48 dot, this, I think it's semicolon or colon, I don't even know exactly what it is, sorry, and 20, and then space, it'll put like a blue hyperlink, so that when I hit that hyperlink, I'll see what you're commenting about. It'll take me to the spot in the video that you're making the comment about. It'll give me context of what it is that you're referring to. So if you can give me a shot there, it does help out the algorithm too. And plus it lets me better communicate and respond to your thoughts on particular spots of the video. Thank you so much, everyone. They put some business there. Gotcha. $3.08 per gallon here. That's actually not, I think it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's either 267 or 367 here. I think it might be 267. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to look at that video. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I think Due Diligence did a great job. I get a little heated there a couple times. Brick has that chaos agent way of just pissing people off. Well, we all know that. All right, guys, I will talk to y'all later, and y'all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out, and